Hi everybody, it's your friend Ryan Rolfe with the DSM Sold team at Keller Williams Legacy Group here in Des Moines in Central Iowa. And we are halfway through September, if you can believe it. Where does the time go? It's Monday again, so it means it's time for Monday Market Update. So let's jump in and talk about what is happening in the real estate space. So if you've been watching interest rates, or if you've got any friends that are real estate agents, you've probably heard that rates have come down. So nationally, rates are at about 6.35%. That's the national average. We tend to be a little bit lower than that. So we've seen folks and our local lender partners and clients of ours that have been getting rates in the high fives, low sixes. So certainly that is great news if you are looking to buy at this time. And of course, as a seller, you may be tempted to put your home on the market since rates are or have been coming down. We'll see if that continues. And yet for now, it's a good time, or at least a better time than earlier this year if you're thinking about buying, because rates are a little bit more attractive. This year overall, we've certainly been mostly lower on the rate front, I suppose, compared to 2024. Although currently we're trending a little bit behind. So last year rates had come down some around the same time, and they were a little bit lower. However, we are still certainly chasing that downtrend. So we'll see if rates stay where they're at, maybe continue to go down a little bit, or if they kind of this is what the best that we're going to get, and they'll maybe slide back up. Time will tell, certainly, and of course we can't determine that. We don't have our crystal balls, and if we did, they're even more foggy than they used to be. So that all said, if you're thinking about buying, it could be a good time right now to just consider seeing what's out there on the market. Maybe if you've been on edge, or on the edge rather, maybe you have a property in mind that you've been circling, might be worth making an offer on that home and locking in the interest rates that we have today, because they are a bit lower than you may have seen a month ago. If you are selling, we're seeing more homes come on the market, so certainly that means folks are watching interest rates and saying, hey, they're coming down, let's try to get our home sold before the winter hits. So again, if you're selling and if you've watched our videos before, of course, you know our philosophy on listing your home. It's all about that digital curb appeal, making sure that your home stands out on the market. When somebody walks in the door, they fall in love with it, right? So if you've got questions on what that means, always reach out. We're here to answer any questions about our philosophy and what we do differently than other agents to help you get your home sold for the right price quicker and get you onto your next adventure. That being said, right now with rates where they're at, if we're looking at a $2,000 a month principal and interest payment, so that's not including taxes and insurance, the current buying power is about $321,422. Which is really the highest that we've seen all year, compared with last year was around $325,000. The combination of more listings and lower rates is certainly energizing the market, offering better choices and affordability for buyers, but also offering opportunities for sellers. Of course, if you've watched previous episodes, if you're in that $400,000 and below price point, that is still what we would consider a seller's market, market-wide. So again, that's not looking at a specific area like Beaverdale or a specific market like downtown Des Moines, because that may be different. However, overall, less than $400,000 tends to be in a seller's market, and then as you get up above that, you're either in an even market or a buyer's market. So you may be able to take advantage of selling in a seller's market, buying in an even market or a buyer's market, depending on what price range you are looking at. And we are currently ahead of last year in closed sales. Part of that, I'm guessing, is due to interest rates and just the summer and spring selling season. Of course, those tend to be busier. Spring's the busiest. Summer tends to, until around August, is somewhat busy. Then we have that slowdown, and then we tend to get what I like to call a second wind. I don't know if other agents would agree with me on that, but we tend to have September, October, maybe even early November, where things get a little bit busier, and then it's really kind of up to the weather. We've got the holidays, and then we get the cold season, and who knows what happens until we get to the end of February, which tends to be when the spring season, or maybe the fall spring season starts, and we get back rocking and rolling. So if you've got questions on what this means for you, if you're thinking about buying or selling, feel free to reach out. Always here to answer any of those questions. And of course, we would love to be a resource for you as you navigate the home buying, home selling, investing, and even commercial purchase, whether that's for a business or an investment. We are here to assist you. We would love to be a resource in any way that we can and answer any of those questions. Our goal as an agent is to make sure that you have a stellar real estate experience and that all of those questions get answered for you as we're going through the process or before we begin the process, because we want to make sure that it's a fun and exciting experience and we can take as much stress out of it as possible. So this weekend, we saw 196 new homes come on the market. 110 homes went into pending or under contract status, and 93 homes sold and closed. Again, if we looked at the 7-day, we did still have a few more new listings come on the market versus those that are pending. Looks like a bigger gap if you look at just the weekend. And yet, part of that is what is leading to increased inventory, and rates, of course, I'm sure are helping both keep that inventory maybe coming up, but it may also stay fairly stable if folks get back out and are starting to look for their new home based on what they're seeing in the market as far as interest rates and availability. So thanks everybody for watching. Have an amazing week. And of course, as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to comment, reach out directly, however you want to connect with us. We are here to assist in any way that we can. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.